Hi everyone. Today we are going to be talking about refugee claim. And with me, I have one of the country's very few lawyers who are certified by the Law Society of Ontario as a specialist in refugee law, Aadil Mangalji. So Aadil, let me ask you this. If someone wants to make a successful refugee claim, what would they need to prove in the hearing?
So I think there's a common misconception out there that refugee claims are for anybody who's facing hardship back home. And that is not true. Refugee claims can be extremely difficult to win, and it's because it has a very specific set of criteria. So either you need to face persecution based specifically on your race, your religion, your nationality, your political opinion, or if you belong to a particular social group. And that can include your gender or your sexual orientation. And then the other group are people who face risk specifically of torture or physical harm upon return.
So Aadil, many people come to us saying, hey, I can apply for a work permit if I make a refugee claim, right? What would you say to that?
I would always tell people that doing a refugee claim comes with a lot of consequences that people do not understand. Essentially, the moment you make a refugee claim, you get a removal order that's put on you. It's unenforceable at the time, but it has very serious consequences in that if you lose your claim, getting any sort of economic program afterwards, or doing any sort of temporary applications such as visitor applications, work permits, or study permits, you're almost guaranteed to not be able to get those in the future because you have made a refugee claim. So although you get a work permit with a refugee claim, it does not give you status, and it is very dangerous because if you lose, it's very difficult to get any other form of status.
What if you don't go to the hearing and you just withdraw your claim before the hearing?
The same problems arise even if you withdraw a claim. Basically, once you've done the refugee claim, that's it. The removal order and the effects of it stay in place.
So if someone goes through the refugee claim and they lose the refugee claim, what happens then?
In most cases, you do get to appeal it, and that's an appeal to the Refugee Appeal Division. But after that, the only recourse you have is to federal court, and you can do a judicial review. This is very critical that you seek counsel on this very early in this process. And the reason being is that you only have 30 days to bring something to the court, and it is a very complex procedure. In fact, we tell people that throughout the entire process, even before you make a refugee claim, you should always have counsel and be speaking to counsel because there are a lot of pitfalls along the way.
So basically, before you even make a refugee claim, you must speak to a very good lawyer who's specialized in this area in order to give you proper advice as to what to do. And afterwards, if you decide to move forward with the refugee claim, make sure you have someone like Aadil represent you in the hearing as well. Take care, everyone.
Bye.